Okay, Nathan, today we're going to go through a static posture observation. So what I'm going to get you to do is line yourself up in the middle of this piece of string here. So feet evenly on either side, and you're just going to relax your hands next to you. Good, just hold that position for me while I have a look. I'm going to start with your foot and ankle complex from an anterior view. From here I can see that both toes are slightly out on left and right side. There's no excessive pronation or supination of your ankles. They are quite neutral. Looking at your hips, I can see that they are symmetrical on both the left and right side. Looking up at the thoracic spine complex, I can see that there's no deviation in the shoulders. They are even. There's no head tilt. Head is neutral. There's no window deviation either that I can see, and hands are quite neutral. Okay, I'm going to get you to face the back. I will try and line up in the middle again. That's perfect, thank you. Hold it there. So starting back down from the ankle and foot complex, there's no ankle eversion or inversion. They are quite neutral. There's no knocked knees or bowed legs. Knees are facing forward. Looking at the hip complex from the back, see that they're symmetrical here as well. Moving up to your thoracic spine, see that there's no scoliosis, there's no winging scapula, and there's no scapular deviation either. Great, okay, I'm going to get you to line up facing a side. So you're going to get your ankle bone to line up with the string here. So this, perfect, and just standing up tall. Great, okay, hold that there on the left side. Okay, starting from the foot and ankle complex, you can see no dorsiflexion or plantar flexion of the ankle. The knees are slightly forward on the left side. Good. Looking at your hip complex, I can see that there's a slight posterior tilted pelvis coming forward, so your hips are rolled under. There's no slight flat back actually, slight flat lumbar spine. Looking at the thoracic view, I can see that there's no kyphosis. There's slight flat back, there's no trunk rotation. Shoulders are in line, head is forward on the left side. Thank you. We're going to switch around to the right. Okay, line up in the middle. Perfect. Thank you. I'll get you to move the slightest bit back, ever so slightly. A little bit more forward. That was perfect where you were before. A little bit more forward. Great. Okay, thank you. Hold that there. Great. Okay. On your right side here, at the foot and ankle complex, ankles are neutral, knees are slightly forward. Looking at your hips, you can see that there's a posterior tilt here at the pelvis as well. Coming up to the thoracic view, I can see that your shoulders are rolled forward here. There's a forward head and possible slight flat back. Okay, thank you. You can relax. Okay, Nathan, we're going to do a movement assessment now. So your first one is a sagittal step. So what I want you to do is, standing up nice and tall, I want you to pretend like you're taking a step forward, let gravity take you on that front foot, and come back up to standing. Take a step forward. We're going to do our right leg first, so keep moving through the right leg. Good, perfect. Just fall into it comfortably, good. Okay, so I'm going to start with the front view here. I'm looking for any medial deviation of the knee, which there is slight medial deviation of the knee on your right foot. Looking at the hips, I can see there's no medial deviation of the hips. Your stance toe is slightly out on your right side here, but there's no excessive pronation of that placing foot. If I come onto the side, your heel is lifting off on the stance foot, and your heel is planted on that placing foot. I can see that you've got good control of the tibia on both the placing and the stance foot, and there's no excessive flexion of the trunk. Perfect. I'm going to get you to go on the other side now with your left leg. Good, exact same thing. Perfect. Good, just fall into it comfortably. Great, okay. I'm looking for any medial deviation of the knee on the left side here, and I don't see any here. If I look at your hips, there's no medial deviation either. There's good some control. That stance toe on your left side is out as well. And there's no excessive pronation of that placing foot. If I come onto the side now. Okay, your heel is lifting off that stance foot. And that heel is planted on your placing foot. See that there's good control of the tibia on both sides here as well. And there's no excessive flexion of the trunk. Okay, you can relax, thank you. Okay, our next movement assessment is going to be a lateral step. So what you're going to do is facing the front, standing up nice and tall. Pretend like you're taking a step back to the side and let your body fall with you, just like the sagittal step. We're going to start with your right side. Good. Okay, from the front here, I'm looking for your knee stacking over the toe, which it does. I'm looking for your hip stacking over, which it's slightly behind on your right leg here. And your head does come over that foot. If I look from the front view for your trunk, I can see that there's no excessive flexion of that trunk and there's no excessive lateral flexion either. Looking at your stance leg, I can see that it's fully planted, the lateral border of the foot is down. Great, thank you. I'll get you on the other side now. Make sure you don't have space. Great. Same thing, good. Good. Okay, on your left here, I can see that your knee is stacking over the foot. Hips are slightly lagging behind, but the head follows over the foot. Okay, looking at your trunk from the front, there's no excessive flexion of the trunk. Possible slight excessive lateral flexion of the trunk on the left side here. Looking at your stance foot, I can see that the lateral border of your stance foot is coming off the ground. Okay, great, you can relax, thank you. Okay, Nathan, the last movement assessment we're going to do is a transverse step and reach. So what you're going to do is facing the back of the broom. You're going to step back and reach down. Step back and reach down. We'll start on your right side. Your right foot is going to step back and reach down. Good, perfect. Step back and reach down. Good, okay. From the back view here, I can see that there's no segmented movement of the scapula. Spine has okay lateral flexion. There's no excessive rotation of the trunk. The head is following the hand. There's no segmented head movement. And that stance leg is not straight. Good. Great, we'll swap over to the left side. Make sure you've got enough room if you want to step over to the right. Good. So stepping down and reach. Good. Okay, from the back view, I can see that there's no segmented scapular movement. You've got okay lateral flexion through the spine. There's no excessive trunk rotation. The head is following the hand. There's no head segmented movement, and that stance leg is not straight. Okay, great. Relax. Thank you.